Hello everyone, welcome to Resin and Reveal. My name's Anita and today I'm going to be using Let Resin Magic Pour. That's an eco-resin and I love to use this because it feels just like porcelain. So I've got a couple of brand new molds. This one is from Resin and it's a cat. Now this cat looks like Art Deco, I think, and it's so elegant, so I'm looking forward to making this one. Let's unwrap that mould now. Oh, don't you just love having new moulds? This is my first time with this one. It feels quite soft actually, so I'm hoping that it will stay sturdy once it's poured, but we'll see. And here's the little bath I'm going to be making as well. It's got little tiny feet and it's a beautiful shape. Haven't made this one before either. So the magic pour is measured 3:1 by weight, so that's 3 parts powder to 1 part water. But I've used it that often, I don't really weigh it anymore. I just get to know the consistency, and once it's like cream, then I know we're good to go. So I'll carry on mixing this. I'm sure you don't need to sit there watching me doing that. And once it's the right consistency, we'll start pouring. So that looks like the right consistency now. And we'll get our moulds and begin to pour. And we need to make sure there's no bubbles in those ears. And as I haven't used this mould before, I'm not really sure where bubbles would form, but I'm giving it a good tap and a little bang, and hopefully we'll be bubble free. It's not very steady, this mould, so I think it's going to need to be propped up. Yeah, and that's not the best idea, is it? I'm using that jug of eco pour to hold it up. I've got to move it now. There you go. I can stay there now. Won't be there for long. It sets really quickly, doesn't it? Now we'll pour the bath and squeeze all around the edges. Make sure there's no bubbles. Give it a little tap and then top it up. That's easy enough. Right, that's that full. Now we only have the feet to pour. These are very small, these feet. Not the best idea either to pour straight out of the jug that big. But we'll get there, I'm sure. Yeah, that's better. There you go. That looks like the feet's being poured now. Little tap for them as well and top them up. And then I'll just wait for that to cure. And now we have the reveal. This is the best part, I think. So let's get this cat out of there. Oh, it looks so elegant. I can see me making quite a few of these. It's quite stretchy, that mould, but it's stuck under its chin, I think. Yeah. Right, I think I need a bigger tug than that one. Nearly there. One more. There you go. Oh, look. That's really nice, that. And it feels so smooth. Oh, tiny bubble there under the chin. But we can repair that later. It's easy enough to do. And a tiny bubble there as well. But all in all, a beautiful little ornament. And now for the bath. Now, I'm doing a voiceover right now, but I remember the problem I had trying to get this out of the mould. And I'll be tugging and pulling. And then I have to go and ask my husband to take it out for me. So hard to demold. I think I'm going to give up and then just demold the feet before I run off to find my hubby. Didn't realise I struggled for so long. Help! Yeah, I did need help. Oh well, I gave up there. Let's do the feet instead, they're easier. Hello again, I'm back with different nails. So it was actually a few days later, to be honest. So the bat's been demolded. There's the legs. Everything's looking good. And now I'm going to attach these legs. Now I've seen people glue these legs on before, but them holes are slightly too big for them, you know. So I'm thinking that I would make some more magic pour, just a little bit, and set the legs into those holes with it and see if they set. And also I can make a bit extra to pour in the bottom of the bath just to hide the holes on the inside as well. Let's go a bit faster here until we get this mixing done, and then we'll slow down again when we come to add those legs. Okay, here goes. So I think that adding the magic paw to each side of the leg will help to fill in the hole, and it'll secure it as well. We'll do this with 4 of the legs, and then I'll use the rest of that to tidy up the inside of the bath when I turn it over. This actually looks like it's working. Those 3 legs look good, and there's the last one going in. So we can let that cure, and hopefully when it cures they'll be stable. I'm just wiping away any little drips that have gathered around them legs. Make it nice and smooth, and then I'm hoping it'll all look like it's one piece. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Now I'm mixing up another small amount so I can just pour that in the bottom of the bath, and I feel that is going to blend in nicely and hide where those feet are joined. Here I'm just putting a little bit of it in each hole where the legs come through, so we can block that hole out, and that should make it even more secure. And then the remainder of it I can just pour into the bottom of the bath, make it a bit more watery. And that should blend in nicely. Now let's repair the bubble hole underneath the cat's chin. These are quite easy to do, really. I just generally put a tiny bit of the eco-resin in there, let it cure, and then once it's dry, use some sandpaper and just smooth it in. And you can't even notice that it's being filled. So it's quite easy to do. I think it's harder to balance that cat than it is to fill the hole. Just a few drops in there. And then we'll let that cure and sand it. Back again, half an hour later. So I've sanded underneath the cat's chin. That's nice and smooth now. Underneath there, I didn't bother sanding because I'm going to set that into a placemat. I'll pour some more eco-resin in there, sit the cat in it, and then it'll be on its own stand. So you don't need to see me mixing all that again, I'm sure. So that's all mixed up now. We'll just pour some of that into the coaster mould and settle the cat in. I think it would be a nicer finish. We'll see how it looks at the end anyway. Take those bubbles out from around the edges and just sit him in. There you go. Yeah, he fits in there perfectly. We just tidy up the edges and then we'll let that cure. Now it's time to put the temporary tattoo on the bath. Now, oh, I had so many of these and it was so hard to choose what one I was going to use. So I've sped this up quite a bit because it took me some time to make a decision. I should have just kept with the first one that I put out, to be honest. But I went through them all and then I decided what one was the best. If you have a look, it'll be the very first one I put down. And then we're going to put that on with some water, which is quite easy, really. There you go. So I decided on the very first one, I think. And now the speed is back to normal again. So I've just trimmed all the edges off that because of the bend in the bath. So it make it smaller and be able to fit into that curve there. And I'm just going to press it on as near to the middle as I can get. Sorry, my hand's in the way. And then I've got some water and a sponge, and literally just dab the water on. Comes off very easily. I'm really impressed with these. And then we just remove that backing paper, and the difference it makes to that bath. It makes it look really elegant. I'm so happy with it. Let's take the paper off now. How pretty is that? So that literally took a minute or two maybe to dry. And then I'm going to be sealing it. Now, because this is going to go into a bathroom, I'm going to seal this with J. Diction gloss sealer. So I'll just show you me putting one coat on, but I actually put two on, and then it'll be waterproof and it'll be fine to put in a bathroom. So you get a small sponge with this as well, and you literally just wipe it over, all over. And because you're using a sponge, there's no brush strokes or anything, and it seals with a lovely glossy finish. And while I was there, I decided to also put it on that cat.